Hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is May the 20th. It is a Tuesday, a terrific Tuesday, and I am here to yet again share with you guys, be an open book, be transparent, be the whatever you want, the example of how to improve self-discipline, and then just being honest and transparent when things are not going as planned. I'm not only documenting the good, I'm also documenting the bad. I'm being honest with how I'm making progress on reaching my May goals, and then I'm adjusting and readjusting to make whatever it is better. As you can see, if this is your first video, there are several other videos on my YouTube channel that are titled with self-discipline. The whole idea of these self-discipline videos is for me to share and document and hold myself accountable for making progress on my goals, and not only making progress on the goals, but once I meet them, to continue them throughout to the next step, to continue making progress and going forth. I don't want to backtrack or slack off anymore and wind up doing so well achieving a goal, and then when I look back at it, I'm like, oh man, I did it again. Now I got to start back over, which there's nothing wrong with having to start back over, but and that is why the key word on all of these videos is self-discipline, because just by taking a step back and just thinking, oh, why is it that I'm not maintaining these goals? Well, the one key word that came to mind is self-discipline. Self-discipline by me focusing on this particular skill, life skill, having self-discipline, having self-control, and strengthening my self-discipline in all areas of my life. That is going to help me with reaching my goals, maintaining my goals, and probably doing some things that I would have never thought I would be able to achieve, just for the simple fact that I have done such a great job implementing and improving with self-discipline. So that's what these videos are about. So if you haven't watched any of my previous videos, feel free to go back and watch them. I've made them very easily accessible. You can either access them on my channel, or I created a playlist with all of them together, and they're in the order in which I've uploaded them. So it makes it easy for you to just go through. You can listen to them, you can watch them and listen to them. You could replay them, you could share them, you could whatever. But just please comment, like, and subscribe so that more of these things, more of my video and content will be recommended to many other people as well as yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and start off by sharing my goals today, and then I'm going to also kind of embed in some different talks here and there as I'm going through my goals. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my goals again for this month. Goal number 1 is to earn at least $2,000 from a supplementary income. Goal number 2 is to pay off a Chase credit card, which totaled to be $1,384. Goal number 3 is to lose at least 10 pounds. My starting weight was 239 pounds. Goal number 4 is to start SQL course on Microsoft to advance my programming skills. Goal number 5 is to read, study, and meditate on discipline. And my goal number 6 is to implement discipline in all areas of my life. So let's see what I've done to progress on goal number 1. So the first week of this month, I made $370. Second week from this venture, I made $369. Third week, which was last week, I've earned $373. So that is a total of roughly a little bit over $1,000. And that would give me, it's almost $1,200, but a little bit shy. So $1,100 and some change. That would give me an $886.93 left to earn in order to meet or exceed my goal. On Sunday, unfortunately, because that was the day that I came back into town from the wedding weekend. Yes. So I did not, I took a day of rest. Monday I attempted to, but it was not a success. It was not working out to where I would be able to earn money, unfortunately. Tuesday today, well, I was able to earn $35.50, which still is like very much on the low end of what I would earn on any given day. Um, and I'm thinking it's attributed to I'm having some connection issues, and I think that might have affected that amount. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to um how to fix my connection issues that's causing some issues with me being able to earn funds each day, because I'm hoping that it will not be on this same trend that it is from what I was able to earn today the rest of this week, because it is to be hopefully Saturday. Friday needs to be better than last Friday. And I think that's also attributed to some connection issues. There's been some connection issues that appears to be affecting the funding, how much money I'm able to earn. Yet and still, there is still hope. So if I were to take, I like to kind of do this to kind of get an idea in my mind. So I'm going to do a little bit of math. So at the end of last week, um, the red dollar amount is showing how much I have left to earn in order to reach the $2,000 goal. So I'm going to take that amount from last week, $886.93, and I'm going to subtract the $35.50. That's now $851.43. And now I'm going to count the days that I'm able to actually earn money, which really is the rest of this month. So that's a total of 4 days plus, oh, excuse me, I'm yawning, plus 7 days. So that's 11 days. So divided by 11, on average, I need to still earn $77. And on average so far, if I was to take, let me just see how much money I've earned on average so far out of the days. So what I'm going to do is take the $2,000 minus the 886.93, which is going to let me know how much money I've earned. But then I need to add the $35.50 that I earned this week. So that's a total of $1,148.57 that I've earned. And I was able to earn money 3 days the first week, 5 days, that's a total of 8, 6 days, that's a total of 14, and then another day, 15. So divided by 15. So on average so far, I've earned $76.57 per day that I was able to earn money for. So when I'm totaling up the amount to earn, yeah, so when I took that amount and divided it by the 11 days, that's not too far from what I've earned on average. So there is still hope. There is still hope. Even though sometimes it seems a little bleak, but there is still hope just based on statistics and based on math. So I was able to take the $851.43. That's how much I have left. $851.43. That's how much I have left as of now, today, to earn. And I divided it by the 11 days that I have left in this month, which are days that I am able to earn money on. And so that gave me $77.40 as an average amount that I need to try to earn each day. If I can earn at least $77.40 each day, I will reach my goal. And then what I did was I backtracked to figure out, well, what is the average daily earning that I've earned so far? So what I did was take the money that I've actually earned so far. So I kind of went around the way to get the total amount. The total amount that I've earned so far is $11.48.57. And I divided it by the 15 days that you see on the screen. So 3 days that first week, 5 days, that's 8, 6 days, that's 14, and then the 1 day for today, that's 15. So I divided it by 15, and that lets me know on average how much money have I earned this month on the days that I was able to earn money. And out of the days that I was able to earn money, on average, I've earned a total of $76.57. So the $77 that I'm aiming to earn on average each day, so for the remaining of this month, is not too far off from the average amount that I've earned so far. So all I just have to do is just keep persevering and attempting to earn as much as I can each day. And I will reach that goal. There is still time to reach this goal. It's not over yet. So I'm still optimistic that I'm able to not only reach this goal, but exceed this goal. This chart here shows, and I kind of like to show it on every video now, it shows what I've done in the past as far as how much was I able to earn each month this year so far for this supplementary income, and where am I currently right now. So here's May, and that $1148.57 is what I've earned so far, and I have an $851.43 remaining amount to go to reach the 2,000 mark. And so that is still possible considering that I'm able to earn money 11 more days out of this month. So dividing that difference out gives me an average of $77 that I need to aim to earn for those 11 days. Goal number 2, pay off Chase credit card. $13.84 is the balance that I started out with. The May the 10th, I actually paid a little bit earlier. I paid it prior to leaving for Mother's Day weekend. So I paid that first chunk amount. So that brings my balance down to $922.42. Because I've been tracking my spending and I've been budgeting and I kind of saw where I was at, I want to regroup on my spendings and my finances. So on May the 22nd, I will actually be attempting to pay out the remaining balance here. So I'll be paying out hopefully the whole $922.42. And at the end of this, at the end of me going through my progress goals, I do want to share with you guys, because I actually did sit down and started working on regrouping my budget, like reorganizing my budget. There's some more work I need to do on it, but I can show you so far what I've done. And then there's some cool tools that I've noticed that are easily available now. So you might find interest in that. So I will share. Goal number 3 is to lose at least 10 pounds. I started out at 239 on April the 27th, lost 2 pounds at 237 on May the 1st. Then I lost almost 2 pounds, about 1.8 pounds in between May the 1st and May the 4th. And I was down to 235.2 pounds. May the 11th, from May the 4th to May 11th, I dropped a total of 1.4 pounds. So 1.4 pounds difference from the 4th to the 11th. From the 11th to the 18th, I dropped 1.8 pounds. So I dropped almost close to 2 pounds. And so now I have a remaining of 3 pounds left. 3 pounds left for these next 2 weeks. So I'm looking forward to May the 25th. As I've said on some of the other videos, I don't have anything else like any other weekend events or getaways that I have to worry about. So I'm just eagerly waiting for Sunday. But at the same time, I'm enjoying these days while I'm preparing and trying to stick to my low calorie, low carb, high protein diet so that on weigh in day, I'm feeling positive that I might be able to reach my goal on my next weigh in, or seeing how far I can get close to reaching my goal, or if I can get below the goal would be great. So that's just my aim of challenging myself to see if I'm able to, because 3 pounds is not too far from 2 pounds. And so if I can gain 3 pounds in a day, I can lose 3 pounds in a week. And so I'm just going to work towards doing that while still maintaining a healthy diet. Goal number 4, start secret course on Microsoft to advance skill. I actually changed this a little bit. As you can see, I added in a column to show the time that it takes to complete each of these. So now I have implemented a block of time during my work schedule. I've implemented an hour at the beginning of my shift to where I will be able to work on this. So I wanted to show the time of how long it takes to complete those modules, just so I can get a good idea of when I could start and when I could finish each of the modules. So I've actually changed all of the dates except for that first one because, I've already started that one. So I started May the 4th on the module 1, and I actually completed May the 19th, which is the first day of implementing my new routine, where I allocated time. I had to allocate some time to work on this, because otherwise I wasn't making any progress, as you can see, from May the 4th to May the 19th. I was supposed to be all the way down somewhere here. I should have been almost finished by now. But with that block of time, now that I've started module 2 on the 19th, I should be able to finish it on the 21st, because on Tuesdays I have a 9 o'clock meeting, so it kind of shorts me a little bit with my time. And I had to actually finish module 1, or no, I already finished module 1, but I had to just finish module 2 and still had like 2 more exercises. I had to do the exercise and the assessment, and so I can do that tomorrow. So my goal is to finish this on, let me go back. My goal is to finish module 2 on May the 21st and start module 3 on May 21st and finish it on May. So I kind of gave myself a day, even though each of these are less than an hour, except for this third module, just in case something like what happened on today happens, where I have something that pulls me away from my allotted time. I've given myself some grace to where I can easily catch back up on that following day and still meet my goal. So if all goes to plan, I should be able to finish my this goal. I should be able to finish this course by May the 27th. And I did not include the weekends. That's why May 23rd goes all the way to May 26th, because I'll just keep it as a part of my work schedule, because I also have some things on the weekend that I'm focusing on. So I just want to keep that free from this, because I think with me having this hour during the week, that's 5 hours in a week that I'm putting toward education. So I think that's reasonable to where I shouldn't have to worry about trying to add it to my weekend routine. Read, study, and meditate on discipline. I'm going to just briefly go over this. The importance of self-discipline. If you don't have self-discipline, it could hinder you from reaching your full potential. Behavior, routine, and habits are things that I want to develop so that I can build my willpower and achieve my goals more effectively by having routines and habits. that helps me with my behaviors and different actions and so forth beyond my behaviors. Pay yourself first. That's what I'm focusing on. I'm going to go into more detail with this. At the end of this, I'm going to share with you guys my budget. And I actually titled it Pay Myself First Budget, because I wanted to make sure that as I'm creating this, I'm keeping into mind that my savings is going to be top priority. I'm about to flip it to where my savings is going to be top priority, and anything else is going to go underneath in that order. So I want to prioritize my savings before my spendings, and I want to pay myself first immediately when I get paid versus using what's left. So I have a budget that I'm going to share. Implement discipline in all areas of my life, mentally, taking self-care time, career-wise, utilizing time management tools like an Excel work log and priority list, finances, budgeting. I've implemented through several budgeting that I've done. My body, I've gone to the gym, sticking to low carb, low calorie, high protein diet. Being kind to myself with my gradual progression on my weight loss, recreation, taking time and spending time off as needed, work-life balance, activities that I've engaged in related to my goals, going to the gym, making sure I have the time to earn this money on my secondary income, and then also budgeting. Organization, I've used calendars on my phone for personal events and things, and then calendar at work as well for meetings and like PTO. I actually had to put another one on my schedule, and I've done that also. I've used my work calendar for adding in that block of time that I talked about earlier for the sequel course. This week, I'll focus on how to implement discipline in all areas of my life regarding the heart, as relationships, emotional, and social. And then next week, the last week of this month, I'll focus on implementing discipline in my soul in the areas of character, purpose, and spirituality. So here are my goals again. And out of these goals, I've only accomplished 1 out of 6, but that's okay because some of the other ones are coming very close. Goal number 2 and goal number 3, I'm projecting myself to probably reach those before the end of the month. So I'm sure those will be checked off pretty soon. And then the remaining goals, those are just going to be something that I'm going to have to play by ear and finish by the end of the month. So let me go ahead and share real quick on this next slide. I'm going to share with you my budget that I've created. All right, so let me share with you my budget. So what I did, I just started out. I know this looks like a lot, but I literally just started out listing out things. I created a column with all the bills, or items, I could call it items. And I included everything that came to mind. I even included my savings. And then I always put an other category. I learned that the hard way on Mother's Day weekend, to always put an other category just in case. Hopefully I won't have to spend it, but just in case it's there if I need to spend it. So hopefully that will not be something I have to spend. And then the next thing I did, I wanted to kind of determine whether or not it is a fixed or a variable bill type. Fixed means that it's going to be the same amount each month. Variable means that it might fluctuate depending on other things. And then I also created another one, which is credit. because for those credit cards, they always give a minimum amount of payment, but I'm actually on track to paying more than a minimum so that I can actually get those paid off. And that's what I'm doing for this Chase credit card that I have as one of my goals. So I created a column and I labeled it either fixed, variable, or credit. Variable mean I can probably, now on the utilities, of course, that's like something that just is, and it depends on how much I use, but I can actually try to control that in a way. If my utility bill is too high, well, next month I could actually do some things to try to bring that down. But fixed, that's just what it's going to be. Credit is variable, but I just wanted to create a whole nother category for that because of the minimum payment. So that's what I did next. And then actually I didn't create this column until last. Then I went and I categorized them, and I just kind of put them in categories based on what they would relate to. So this first category is housing, utilities, transportation, personal spending, childcare, debt repayment, savings and investment, miscellaneous, groceries, transportation, business, childcare. I think those are all the ones. And then I went down and I wanted, because eventually what I'm going to do is this is just like a planning spreadsheet, but I normally have a gridded amount, and like each time that I have to make a payment, I have a column. So this is going to be expanded out into even a whole worksheet where I'm able to track it month by month on what I'm actually spending, how much I actually spent. And so I wanted to document when is it due. Like, so the first of the month, so forth and so on. This one paid weekly. Some of them are paid weekly. Some are paid bi-weekly. Some are paid monthly. For my investment, I want that to be daily. And then other is monthly. So I just gave them. And then so based off of that column, I added this column, number of times. That means number of times I have to make that payment in a month. So if it has a particular date, I just put a 1 there. But if it says weekly, up, that should be a 4. And I wonder if that already has it in there. Looks like it already has it in there. I thought I had a 1 there, but yeah, so weekly would mean 4 times in a month. And then 1, and then bi-weekly would be twice. So I put 2, and then daily, I just use an average days in the months to be 30. So that I'm budgeting, for the most part, over budget for a lot of days or a lot of months, but then probably for the ones that have 31 days, I'm budgeting lower, but that's okay. It'll average out. And then so in the next column, this is my budget amount of how much I know the bill to be. So this is what I'm budgeting for it. So for the fixed items, I already know what those are going to be. So I just know they're not going to change. But for the variable items, they're going to change. But I am going to still budget an amount that I would want them to be. And then when I actually put this on another spreadsheet and share like how much I actually pay, I can kind of see the difference between how much I budgeted and how much I actually paid. And then I could try to strategize some type of plan to either try to get that cost down to budget, or whatever other strategy I need to come up with to make my budget work, or maybe I need to readjust my budget. Okay. And then so these are all the costs for my savings and investment. This is how much I'm wanting to invest daily. So then on this last column, the budgeted monthly amount, because some of these are paid in different frequencies throughout the month. Some are paid once, some are paid twice, some are paid 4 times daily, and so forth. I created a formula where I just took whatever was in this field times whatever was in this field, the number of times that it needs to be paid in a month times the amount that is paid. And so that gave me the total here for the month. So this is telling me how much I'm actually spending. Now, AI has been embedded in a lot of different things. So I'm using Google Sheets, and off to the side, you can use this Gemini to summarize data like your data. And you can also ask it questions like if you wanted to create total, a total for budgeted monthly amount. It'll give you a formula that you can copy. It'll give you a formula that you can copy, and then so I probably should have said give me a formula. So I created a total for, so it gave me the total. I could say create a bar chart, a pie chart, and it gives me a pie chart. Yep. And if I want to be more specific, I could say create a pie chart with percentages. It would give me that. So I just wanted to show that this tool here is just going to be phenomenal. Now, I am very spiffy with Excel, and I know this is Google Sheets, which is kind of like a version of Excel. And there are so many different things that you can do. But having this AI tool here is going to also be great because you could ask it to do the work for you, and then all you got to do is insert it on your page when you're done. Now, I didn't do that for this summary page. I want to show you this summary page, but I could have asked create a pivot table from the planning tab. So let's see what it does. And I probably have to be on this page. So let's just see. If I type in again, create a pivot of budgeted monthly by priority and category. Let's see. And then it will also summarize, like it will summarize and give you a good idea of what it is. So I could apply, but I'm not gonna. It says something went wrong. So maybe it's not able to do the pivot table, but you can easily like select the table of stuff that you want, and you just go up here and you do insert pivot table, and it'll create a pivot table, and then all you have to do, I think it did. Actually, it did. It created it on. I didn't notice that. It actually created it. And then all I would have to do is go through and modify it because I don't like it. So it did create the pivot table, and it went ahead and inserted it on the last slide, and I didn't even notice until I looked down. So if I don't want the totals, I don't want these to show. I just wanted to show like this. So that, yeah. So I didn't do that, but I could have done that. As you can see, I want to kind of model that for you, but it gave me the same exact thing that I did here on my own. Just by doing the insert pivot table and then going to the pivot thing and choosing what I wanted to, how I want the table to be organized. So this shows me the breakdown of how much am I spending per category. And then I prioritize the category because, as you can see, pay myself first budget means I need to put a number one by savings and investments. So that's my top priority. Then healthcare, then housing, then utilities. Because the healthcare that's listed on there is actually an investment. It's like Gerber insurance that I've gotten for my son since he was born. And so I want that to tag along underneath there because it's not like paying, it can be used for healthcare things. It's more so like a saving. Housing, utilities, childcare, transportation, groceries. So there's a total of 11 different categories that I have on my budget so far. Personal spendings, wanted to make sure that was at the bottom. And then miscellaneous is underneath personal spendings because that's like the category that I use for any other personal spendings that may not be categorized per se, but trying to keep that underneath a certain amount needs to be. So you can see the total budgeted amount that I have is $6,343, which means I'm probably going to have to relook at this either once I put in my income and all the different things that I make money from. And that's where self-discipline is going to come into place, because for the budget amount here that I need, there's going to be some additional income that I will need to add to my existing income, and just seeing how far of it I would need, how much more of it I would need in order to reach this budget. And then also I do want to note that the debt repayment is eventually going to be lower than that, because 900 about $1,000 is going to be gone from that. So let's just say, for example, planning. Let me change something here. The chase. Let's just say chase is done. By the time that I do chase, so now that's looking more reasonable. And then let's just say, for example, my next one on the list is this one, and I'm supposed to have that paid off by next month. So I got to see how much I actually have on that as well. Let's see. Let me go to the app while I'm on here. So I would just say 0. Let's say that's going to be gone next month, June. That's going to be done. And then the other ones, that really didn't do too much to the budget or to this summary page, but it did bring it down quite a lot. And then I want to do like, I'm going to add more to it. So I want to do percentages so I can see how much of each of these categories, what percentage of my total are each of these categories. So I could actually do that right now. Let's just see. Columns, add, values, add, probably add, budget amount. I want to do a percent. But I don't have a percent as an option. I want, percent of grand total. Let's do that. Yes. Okay, there we go. So, yes, most of my money would be going towards savings. So that would be like flipping my spendings. And the least amount of money would be going towards personal spendings. But I need to add these two together, to be honest. I need to add both of these categories together when it comes to personal spendings. And then debt, it'll be 18, 19%. So yeah, this gives me a better idea. Yeah, so this gives me a better idea. So I could analyze this data and it'll analyze it for me. But I don't want it to be converted to a number. Look, it gives me a chart and everything. And I could easily insert it. It gives me considerable difference between highest and lowest budgeted categories. So my housing is, I mean, that's pretty decent out of the cost. But then when I add in my income and I show how much of it actually goes towards from my income, like the percentage that will be used of my income, it should be almost the same, but this gives me a good idea. But I just want to share that with you guys. I'm going to continue working on this and share with you these different AI tools that can be used. You could do more. You can clear history. You can send feedback. You can rate it. That's just going to help it get better. If it actually helped you do what you wanted it to do, give it a thumbs up so that it'll know, okay, we got that programmed right. Because people are actually programming these things behind the scenes that we don't get to see. It can even create a formula for you so you don't have to know all the nifty formulas. It'll actually create the formula for you. But I'm going to do this. I'm going to put back my amount 181 and 922. Let's look at it now. So now that debt is definitely over what I need it to be. Yep, so that's like the top category, and I don't want that to be the top category. I want my savings and investment to be the top category, but it's going to be a work in progress, and I'm going to have to find a way to milk some money out of a rock, but I will do it. That's the whole idea I find with paying yourself first is making sure that you're setting yourself up for the year, for the years ahead. And so with interest by the end of this year, depending on what accounts I set up, I should have well over. So that means $300 each month from each. So $300. So I would just say $300 for the remaining months in this year. So that'll be 7. So each account, each savings should at least have $2,000 by the end of this year. And that's not even taking into account the interest that it's going to earn daily. So, and there are some calculators, online calculators online, um, some of 3.60 APY. Where you can type in You can type in what your initial deposit's going to be. So let's just say my initial deposit, there's a total of how many savings that I have. I think it's a total of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 5. So let's just say I was able to do $100 each. And then I don't really like that it does monthly. Let's just say it's 3.6. And monthly contribution is 10 times 30 would be $300. Oops. So let's just say if that's at 0 and 7, how much money would I? So by the end of the year, I would earn $2220. I would have earned $20 interest on. Um, I want the one that compound daily. Hmm. Okay, this one is daily. So let's just say I start out with $100. I'll just say 1 year. I'll just say 3.6. And it still doesn't do right. It doesn't do right. I guess maybe it does. So let's just say $300 in a month. I'll have earned, if it compounds daily, I would have earned well more than what it said on that other calculator. But either way, that's my plan. I just want to share this with you guys. If it has helped you, or if you have any ideas on how you actually do yours, this is not the end result by any means, but it is what it is. And it is a starting point for me as far as paying myself first. And so I will be sharing as I maneuver through creating my budget sheet. And I'll be sharing that this week because I need to have that somewhat done before the 22nd so that I can go ahead and see where I'm at as far as like paying the remaining balance of this off so that this can be down to 0 and then we can go from there. All right, well, that is all for my video for the day. I've kind of gone beyond the time, I'm sure, but I hope what I shared was a benefit for you. And I'll see you guys tomorrow with my progress on my goals again. Have a nice night.